My fiancé said, "I want a Ferrari life." I replied, "Then you're not my wife." Then I froze the trust, canceled her cards, handed her the lease alone, married my best friend instead, and I just smiled because she only learned who I was in court. Original post: I am 32. My now ex-fiancée is Clara, 30. No kids. We were together a little over 3 years, engaged for 1. I work as an architectural historian. I write reports, talk about old bricks, and argue about windows with city planners. She works in luxury retail sales. We lived in my 1-bedroom apartment near the university. Old building, high ceilings, bad plumbing. I loved it. She called it cute for now. Our wedding was set for a Saturday in May. Small ceremony at a historic chapel, then a reception at a restaurant with exposed beams and too many candles. Clara cared about photos. I cared about not tripping walking down the aisle. 2 months before the wedding, small things started to feel off. Clara's phone was never out of her hand. Late-night texts. She would tilt the screen away when I walked by. When I asked who it was, she would say, "Just work," and then change the topic. She started talking about cars more. She had always liked nice things, but now it was specific. Italian red, convertible. She would point at random sports cars and say, "That is the kind of life I should have." One night we were on the couch. She was scrolling through Instagram. A photo popped up of a bright red Ferrari. The account name was Julian R. I knew that name. Her ex. The one who had never appreciated her, according to her. She scrolled past it fast, but not fast enough. "I thought Julian moved out of the country," I said. "He did," she said. "It is just a car photo, Leo, relax." I dropped it, but the quiet weight settled in. The key detail came a week later. I got an email from my bank about a large credit inquiry from a luxury auto dealership. I had not applied for anything. I read the email twice. At first I thought it was spam. Then I saw my full name, correct address, and Clara's phone number listed as a contact. I called the bank. The rep told me there had been an attempt to run my credit as a co-signer on a high-value lease. The dealership had backed off when the system flagged the trust attached to my accounts. The trust. My grandfather left me a conditional trust fund. $10 million. It vests only if I am legally married before my 33rd birthday. If I miss the date, the money goes to charity. No extensions, no appeals. My 33rd birthday was in 4 weeks. The wedding date was 3 weeks away. We had joked about the timing before. Clara called it romantic pressure. But when my grandfather's lawyer first explained the rule, Clara's eyes did not look romantic. They looked sharp. Sitting at my desk, staring at the email about the Ferrari dealership, I felt that same sharpness. I did not confront her. I asked the bank to send me a copy of the application. Then I pulled up the trust documents and read every line again. After that, I forwarded everything to a lawyer I use for boring contract work. Subject line: urgent. Need to protect trust and apartment. Then I put my phone down and went back to marking up floor plans like nothing had shifted at all. Update 1: the wedding day came anyway. I woke up early. Ate plain toast because my stomach felt tight. My best friend Maya picked me up to drive me to the chapel. She has been in my life since college. We share the same dry sense of humor and the same hatred of small talk. "You good?" she asked as we pulled up. "As good as anyone about to recite vows in front of their parents," I said. Guests started arriving. My family, her family, a few colleagues. The florist set up arrangements. Clara was at a hotel with her bridesmaids to get ready in peace. That was her phrase. 10 minutes before the ceremony, I was in a small side room with the officiant. My phone buzzed. One new message from Clara. I expected a last-minute "I love you" text. I got a wall of words instead. "Leo, I am not coming. I am so sorry, but I have to be honest with myself. I cannot marry you. I am with Julian. We are leaving together today. He bought me the car and the life I have always wanted. You will be fine. You have your history stuff and your trust fund. Please do not call." I cannot face you at the altar. I read it twice. The room went very quiet in my head. I took a screenshot, saved it to a folder, then I forwarded it to Maya. I walked out to the doorway of the chapel. Maya met me halfway down the hall, phone already in her hand. She did not say, "Are you okay?" She just looked at my face and understood enough. "She really texted you from a hotel," she said low. "Yeah," I said, "with Julian and his car." "What do you want to do?" she asked. "Stop this," I said, cleanly. We went to the efficient first. "The wedding is off," I said. "She is not coming." His eyebrows went up, but he did not argue. Then we went to my parents and hers. I did not give a speech. I just handed my mother the phone with the text, then her father, then a bridesmaid who went white. We brought the guests inside the chapel and told them together. "The ceremony will not take place," the officiant said. "There has been a change of plans." Some people gasped. One aunt started whispering in the back. Maya stood next to me like a wall. On the drive back to my apartment, my phone lit up with messages from vendors, relatives, and unknown numbers. I put it face down. At the apartment building, there was a bright red Ferrari parked out front. It was not in a spot. It was just there under the no parking sign. The license plate frame had the dealership name that matched the bank email. I did not go up right away. I took photos of the car, the plates, the VIN. Then I sent them to my lawyer with a short note. "Looks like the application went somewhere." Then I rode the elevator up. The apartment door was unlocked. Clara was inside in jeans and a silk top, not a wedding dress. Julian sat on the couch, relaxed. There were 2 suitcases near the door. Clara's eyes widened when she saw me. "Leo, you are not supposed to be here," she said. "This is my apartment," I said. "Where else would I be?" Julian stood up. He was the type of man who wears a watch worth more than a car payment. "Leo, man, this does not have to be ugly," he said. I looked at Clara. "You used my credit to try to help him buy a Ferrari," I said. "You left me at the altar by text. You are standing in my living room." "It is already ugly." She started talking fast. "The dealership wanted a co-signer," she said. "It was just an inquiry. You have the trust. It would not have hurt you. And now I have a chance at a different life. You would understand if you let yourself." I took the email printout from my pocket and put it on the table. Her signature was at the bottom of the application, my full name at the top. "I understand perfectly," I said. "You tried to attach my future money to his car. You told me about Julian moving away, but he is here, with his keys downstairs." Julian shifted. "We did nothing illegal," he said. "We will let a lawyer decide that," I said. I picked up my spare house key from the bowl by the door and slid it into my pocket. "You have until Friday to move your things out," I said to Clara. "After that, I will change the locks. We are done." She stepped toward me like she wanted to grab my arm. Maya, who had stayed by the elevator, spoke from the doorway. "He is serious, Clara," she said. "Leave it." I walked out. I did not slam the door. I did not raise my voice. In the elevator mirror, I looked like someone who had just left a meeting. Tired. Focused. In my head, I was already listing what needed to be protected first. Update 2. The week after the non-wedding felt like a slow legal class. First move, I froze everything. I called the trust administrator and explained in simple words that the engagement had ended and that there had been an attempt to use my credit for a high-risk purchase. They were calm. They had seen worse. They noted everything. They also reminded me of the rule. "You still have until your birthday to meet the marriage condition," the lawyer said. "We cannot advise you on your personal life, but you should be aware of the timeline." For weeks. I wrote the number on a sticky note and put it on my desk. Not as pressure. As a fact. Second move, I shut down anything shared with Clara. We never had a joint account, but I had given her a card on my account. I canceled it. I changed my online banking passwords. I checked my credit report for other surprises. There were none. Third move, the apartment. The lease was in my name only. Clara was listed as an approved occupant. My lawyer told me that gave me options. We served her with a 30-day notice to vacate. formal paper, not a text. She did not take it well. She refused to leave at first. "I lived here," she said over the phone. "You cannot just throw me out because your feelings are hurt." "This is not about feelings," I said. "You tried to use my financial future as a down payment on Julian's car. You left me at the altar. You are not staying in my home." That was when she shifted from emotional to tactical. 2 weeks after the non-wedding, a thick envelope arrived at my door. A civil complaint. Clara was suing me for breach of promise to marry and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Her lawyer claimed that I had led her to expect a certain lifestyle based on my trust fund and then abandoned her. It was almost funny. She left me by text, but the lawsuit said I had done the leaving. My lawyer did not laugh. "We respond with facts," he said, "not feelings." We attached the screenshot of her wedding day text, the dealership application with her signature, the photos of the Ferrari at my building, emails showing she had known about the trust terms for over a year. We also filed a separate complaint regarding the attempted credit fraud. The dealership cooperated. They provided call logs and a recording of a conversation where Clara described me as her future husband and happy to back Julian's lease. Julian's boss at his finance job heard about the complaint. Large firms do not like employees tied to fraud reports. Within a month, Julian was let go. Mutual friends said he spun it as a career reset. I did not care either way. Clara doubled down online. She posted long captions about being discarded for not being rich enough. She framed it as a class issue. Her followers, who did not know the trust details, sent her heart emojis and comments about how men are trash. I kept my own accounts quiet, no subtweets, no vague quotes, just one short post on my private page. "Wedding called off. I am okay. Please give me space." Most people respected it, the ones who did not got ignored. In court, Clara's case did not land well. Her lawyer tried to paint her as a woman who had planned her life around our marriage and had been blindsided. My lawyer read her wedding day text out loud. "I am with Julian. We are leaving together today. He bought me the car and the life I have always wanted." There was a pause in the courtroom that felt longer than it was. The judge dismissed the emotional distress claim. The breach of promise part dragged on, but the damages were cut down to almost nothing. In the end, my insurance covered most of the legal costs. The judge also noted in the record her involvement in the dealership mess. That record would matter later when she tried to rent a new place. The eviction notice on the apartment held. Rather than fight it to the end, I made a decision. I moved out first. I found a small, boring one-bedroom on the other side of town near the archives where I work. I took my books, my bed, my desk, and some dishes. I left the couch and most of the decor Clara had picked. I transferred the lease of the old unit to her name with the landlord's consent. She wanted the apartment so badly. Now she had it, and the full rent, and no help. Within 3 months, she broke the lease. The landlord kept her security deposit and sent her to collections for the remainder. That was between them. By then, the Ferrari was gone too. Julian could not keep up the payments without my backing and without his job. The dealership took it back. The red car that had been her symbol of the life she deserved lasted less than a year. While all this played out, Maya kept showing up. She drove me to hearings, sat in the back of court with a notebook, brought takeout to my new place and watched documentaries with me when my brain would not shut off. One night, about 3 weeks before my birthday, we were sitting on my floor eating noodles. "What are you going to do about the trust?" she asked. "I do not know," I said. "Let it go, maybe. 10 million tied to a deadline feels like a trap now." "It is also a tool," she said. "You did not create it. You just have to decide if you want to use it." She said it so calmly, like we were talking about a grant, not a number that still feels unreal. Then she said the quiet thing. "You know you could marry someone you actually trust," she said. "On paper, at least." We both looked at each other for a long second. "Like who?" I asked. She shrugged once. Someone who already knows where you keep your spare key, she said. Update 3. Clara reached out again 2 weeks before my birthday. She sent a short text. Can we talk, just us, no lawyers? I told her we could meet at a coffee shop near my work. Public, neutral, I did not offer a ride. She came in 10 minutes late. No designer bag, no glossy hair. She looked smaller. Tired, real. Hi, she said. Hi, I said. We ordered drinks and sat at a corner table. For a moment she just stared at the foam pattern in her cup. I heard about the lawsuit result, she said. Your lawyer played dirty. He played with facts, I said. You wrote that text. You signed that form. That is not dirty. That is documentation, she winced. Fine, she said. I know I messed up some things. Some, I said. She took a breath. Look, she said. We were engaged for a year, together for years. We had a life. I made a mistake. Julian is gone. The car is gone. I am starting over in a studio that smells like mold. I am not asking for your money. I am asking for another chance. I watched her while she talked. Her sentences were softer now, less sharp. But under the tone, the same pattern sat there. She talked about lifestyle, not trust. About what we could still build, not about what she had already broken. I know about the trust deadline, she said. Your cousin mentioned it at a party. You have time. We could still get married. For real this time, no games. You get your inheritance, I get stability, we both win. There it was, the pitch. You left me at the altar by text for someone with a car, I said. You tried to use my name to buy that car. When it went wrong, you sued me. And your solution now is to marry anyway so we can both win. Her eyes filled, but she held my gaze. I was scared, she said. I thought Julian could give me what you never would. I was wrong. I am trying to fix it. You are trying to fix your comfort, I said, not what you did. She reached across the table like she wanted to touch my hand. I pulled mine back to my lap. I know you still care about me, she said. We could go to City Hall tomorrow, no big wedding, no mess, just a clean line before your birthday. You get your 10 million. I stopped drowning. We can work on the rest. I let a few seconds pass so I would not answer from raw feeling. I did go to City Hall, I said. Last week, she blinked. What? She asked. I got married, I said. The trust condition is already met. Her mouth actually dropped a little. She looked around like someone might jump out and say it was a joke. To who? She asked. Maya, I said. She sat back hard in her chair. That is insane, she said. She is your friend. She is my friend, I said. She also did not lie about a car, did not leave me in a suit in a side room while she ran off with an ex. Did not try to turn my inheritance into a down payment for someone else. When she shows up, she actually shows up. Do you even love her? Clara asked. Or is this some kind of stunt? I respect her, I said. I trust her. That is more than I can say about what I felt for you at the end. She shook her head. You are throwing away real love for some paper marriage, she said. What we had stopped being real love the moment you chose a Ferrari over a life we had built, I said. You did that, not me. Her eyes were wet now. Her voice was lower. Do I mean nothing to you? She asked. After everything. You are the person who showed me what my lines are, I said. That is not nothing. It is also not a job you get to keep. We finished our drinks in silence. When we stood to leave, she looked like she wanted to hug me. I stepped back. Take care of yourself, Clara, I said, but do it without me. She watched me walk out. She did not follow. Final update. 6 months later, my life looks different on paper and calmer in practice. Maya and I are married. We did it at City Hall on a Tuesday. No white dress. No tux. She wore a blue dress that had pockets. I wore a jacket that did not fit perfectly. Our parents came. We had lunch after at a diner with bad coffee and good pie. We signed a prenup my lawyer drafted and hers reviewed. It says in plain language that the trust stays separate, that if we ever split, she gets what is fair for the time we spent together, not a piece of money my grandfather earned. We moved into a small house near the river. It has cracked tiles and a yard that needs work. I like fixing things. She likes drawing plans. Some nights we sit at the kitchen table and map out stories for the house. Kids are a maybe later topic. For now, it is just us and a lot of paint samples. People ask if our marriage is real or just a contract. I give the same answer every time. We started it for a practical reason, I say. We are staying in it because it feels right. The trust vested 2 weeks after we filed the marriage certificate. The numbers showed up in an account one morning. I stared at the zeros for a while. Then I closed the app and went back to editing a report on a train station from 1912. The money means security. It means I do not have to accept every contract. It does not change who I am in a room with brick dust in my hair. Clara's life went the other way. Her lawsuit ended with a short order and a longer note about her choices. That is public record. Employers and landlords can see it. She bounced through 2 jobs in 6 months. Mutual friends say she complains a lot about bad luck and men who cannot commit. Julian moved to another city. No one can tell if he invited her. Her social media is mostly quote posts now about healing and self-love. The photos look filtered. The apartments look smaller. I do not follow her. Sometimes her face shows up in a tagged photo when a mutual attends a party. She looks fine, alive, human, not a villain, just someone who chose short-term shine over long-term solid ground. Once in a while, when I clean up my cloud storage, I see the old screenshot of her wedding day text. The one where she wrote about the car and the life she deserved. I used to feel a twist in my stomach when I saw it. Now I just drag it into an archive folder and keep going. The real turning point for me was not the trust money, not the court orders, not even the calm wedding at City Hall. It was standing in that side room in the chapel, phone in my hand, suit on, and deciding to walk out and end it cleanly instead of begging someone who had already left. That was the moment I chose my own future over someone else's fantasy. Everything since then has just been paperwork.